Amara ran barefoot through a storm, her swollen belly tight against the cold, her breath sharp as broken glass. Behind her, alarms wailed inside the Crown Plaza like wounded animals. Guards shouted into radios, flashlights stabbed the rain. She didn't look back. She couldn't. Not when she'd just seen Naslin carry a newborn. Her newborn? Someone else's? Down the hidden staircase wrapped in crimson silk, whispering, "Special delivery for the senator." Amara had pressed herself into a laundry chute, trembling as footsteps passed inches away. That was the moment she knew. If she waited until morning, her child would vanish like smoke. She slipped out through a rusted service gate, blood mixing with rain on her ankle where a guard's boot had caught her. Her dress clung to her skin, heavy with water and fear. But in her chest burned something hotter than terror: memory. She remembered the code Mama G used on the ledger, the license plate of the black car that came every full moon, the way girls disappeared after their third ultrasound. She clutched her stomach and whispered to the life inside her, "We're not going back, not ever." And with lightning splitting the sky behind her, she vanished into the city's wet shadows, pregnant, haunted, and finally awake. 3 months earlier, Amara had walked in and stood wide-eyed in the front lobby of the Crown Plaza with nothing but a bus ticket and a dream, dazzled by crystal chandeliers and walls lined with mirrors that made even tired faces look radiant. Girls in pink uniforms moved gracefully between stations, blending foundation, curling lashes, massaging scalps with scented oils. A sign above the reception desk read, "Where dreams get their glow." Madame Genevieve Crown, also known as Mama G, greeted her like a long-lost daughter. Warm hand, soft perfume, and eyes that seemed to say, "I see you." "You have light in your eyes," she said. "We'll polish it until the whole world sees. You'll learn, you'll shine, you'll rise," Mama G promised. Amara believed her. Everyone did. Even the news cameras followed Mama G like she was sunshine made flesh. But the golden door only opened one way. Once inside, girls stopped calling home. Their phones got lost. Visits were too distracting. Parents were only allowed to visit on Sundays, sipping tea in the lounge while watching their daughters demonstrate eyeliner techniques. Amara was assigned to the makeup wing. Her days began with cleaning brushes, then practicing contour on mannequins, then real clients, mostly wealthy women who tipped well and praised Mama G's angelic girls. Everything felt safe, noble, full of promise. But Amara noticed small things. How certain girls were pulled aside for advanced training after closing, how their smiles grew tighter, and how they stopped talking about going home, and how Mama G always watched, not with pride, but with calculation, like a farmer checking ripening fruit. After 3 months, Amara was promoted to The Moon, a private lounge on the 3rd floor where the lights dimmed and the music slowed. Here, girls wore sequined dresses and learned to pour wine with grace, laugh at jokes they didn't understand, and sit close enough to make powerful men feel desired. "You're ready for the moon," Mama G whispered with a smile, appending a silver moon brooch to Amara's collar after Amara perfectly recreated a celebrity's smoky eye. That night, Amara walked through a velvet curtain into another world. The lights were dimmer, the music slower, the air thick with jasmine and whiskey. She wore a shimmering dress that hugged her curves, heels that clicked like metronomes, and perfume that clung to her skin. She saw girls dancing, not wildly, but swaying close to men in tailored suits who spoke in low tones and left thick envelopes on the bar. Mama G called it companionship training. "You're special," Mama G whispered one evening, adjusting Amara's earrings. "These men need comfort. You give it gently." Amara didn't understand then what comfort meant, that every girl in the moon was chosen to carry a child, not for love, but for profit. But Amara soon learned the rules. Sit near the man with the ruby cufflinks, he likes quiet girls. Laugh softly at the banker's jokes, he tips in gold coins. Accept the champagne he offers, it's vitamin fortified. The drinks, the closeness, the late nights, they weren't accidents. Every encounter was chosen, every girl was matched. And within weeks, those same girls missed their periods, grew tired, and were quietly moved upstairs for rest. Amara watched Lena, her roommate, return from a private dinner with a diplomat, and 2 months later, disappear without a trace. No goodbye, just an empty locker and a single high heel left behind. Pregnancy at the Crown Plaza wasn't luck, it was logistics. Every girl received daily wellness shots from Nurse Lynn, sweet-tasting vitamins in rose water, and monthly fertility blessings from Mama G herself. Your body is a temple, Mama G would say, pressing a warm stone to their bellies during private sessions. But Amara saw the charts in the nurse's office. Ovulation dates circled in red, buyer preferences noted in shorthand, prefers twins, wants boy born on full moon. The men didn't just choose girls, they chose futures. A senator requested a child with strong lungs for leadership. A foreign minister wanted a girl with no birthmarks for purity. After a girl was selected, she'd be scheduled for a special evening in the VIP suite. Candles, soft music, and a drink laced with more than charm. Within days, a pregnancy test would turn positive. Within weeks, she'd be escorted to the upper floors, told she was honored, and never seen in the moon again. Amara realized with dawning horror, her own special evening with the quiet man in the gray suit wasn't romance, it was an order. Curiosity led Amara down a service hallway marked staff only. She followed the scent of antiseptic and the hum of refrigerated units. Behind a false wall disguised as a laundry closet, she found stairs descending into silence. The air grew colder. Fluorescent lights flickered over white tiles. Room after room held girls in hospital gowns, bellies round, eyes vacant. Monitors beeped softly. Nurses moved like ghosts, checking vitals, adjusting IVs. This was the final stage, the baby factory. Here, pregnancies were monitored like assembly lines. When labor began, doctors arrived in unmarked coats. Birth happened quickly, quietly. Within minutes, the baby was cleaned, weighed, and fitted with a tiny wristband stamped with a code, K42M, Kofi, batch 42, male. Then came the packaging, wrapped in silk, placed in a temperature-controlled case, and carried up through a private elevator to the garage level. Amara watched from a vent as a man in a long coat accepted the case, signed a tablet, and drove away in a black sedan. No tears, no names, just transaction complete. Amara began to steal moments. During fake nausea breaks, she'd slip into supply rooms and sketch floor plans on toilet paper. She memorized guard rotations. 11 p.m. handover lasted 7 minutes. She noted that Mama G visited the hidden floor every Tuesday at 3 p.m., always carrying a leather folio. One afternoon, while pretending to mop outside Mama G's office, Amara saw the folio left open on the desk. Inside, photos of newborns, buyer profiles, and a calendar marked with due dates like harvest seasons. Her own name appeared next to Senator K, boy, due Jan 12. Below it, a note, Mother, Amara, disposal, post-birth, no contact. Disposal. The word cut deeper than any knife. She wasn't a mother, she was a vessel, and when her purpose ended, she'd be erased. That night, she scratched a message on the sole of her shoe. They take the babies, I take the truth. She would not be disposed of, she would be the spark. The storm gave her cover. Rain drummed on the roof like 1,000 warning drums. At 11:30 p.m., during the shift change, Amara swapped her gown for a janitor's uniform, stuffed pillows under it to mimic pregnancy, her real bump hidden beneath layers, and smeared grease on her cheeks to look older. She crawled through a narrow maintenance tunnel behind the boiler room, a path she'd mapped after hearing rats scurry through it during sleepless nights. Her real belly ached with every movement. Halfway through, a flashlight sliced the darkness. She froze behind a pipe, heart pounding so loud she feared it would give her away. The guard passed, muttering about overtime. When silence returned, she ran. Through dripping alleys, past sleeping strays, across streets slick with rain. She didn't stop until she collapsed at Sister Nia's shelter, whispering 2 words before fainting: "Save them." Sister Nia wrapped Amara in dry blankets and called Elias, a journalist whose sister vanished near the Crown Plaza 5 years ago. Weak but clear-eyed, Amara described everything: the salon's false warmth, the moon's choreographed seductions, the hidden floor's sterile horror. She drew the layout from memory: salon on ground floor, lounge on second, secret maternity ward below. Elias listened, skeptical, until she mentioned the mural behind Mama G's desk, a golden tree with roots shaped like screaming mouths, a detail never leaked. He believed her. Within days, hidden cameras captured black sedans arriving at midnight. Audio picked up Mama G saying, "Fresh stock tonight, healthy, quiet, no complications." Then came the broadcast. Amara's voice, calm but firm, echoed across the nation. They don't adopt babies, they order them. The city erupted. Parents demanded answers. Politicians denied until bank records surfaced linking them to Crown Nursery LLC. Police raided the Crown Plaza at dawn. They broke through false walls, uncovered the hidden floor, and found ledgers detailing over 200 pregnancies in 5 years, DNA samples, and buyer contracts signed in blood red ink. One room held shelves of tiny silver bracelets, each engraved with a buyer's initials. Girls were rescued, thin, dazed but alive. Some held empty arms where babies should be, some pregnant. Forensic teams traced bank transfers to judges, senators, and foreign diplomats. One buyer had ordered twins for spiritual balance. Another wanted a child born under a blood moon. The world watched in horror as powerful men were dragged from mansions in handcuffs. Mama G was arrested in her silk robe, sipping chamomile tea in her penthouse suite. "I gave these girls purpose," she told the reporters, but footage showed her handing a newborn to a senator while saying, "He will serve you well." Voice recordings captured her negotiating prices. The buyers, judges, diplomats, billionaires were exposed one by one. Their mansions searched, their passports were seized. The empire built on stolen breaths crumbled in a single week. At trial, Mama G received life in prison. The buyers faced charges of human trafficking, conspiracy, and child exploitation. The Crown Plaza was demolished immediately. In its place, a garden now grows, planted by rescued girls, each flower named for a child lost. Amara gave birth to a healthy boy under a real sky, in a real hospital, with her mother holding her hand. She named him Kofi, born on Friday, the day she escaped. This story ends not with revenge, but remembrance. For evil thrives in silence and shines in disguise. But as the old tales teach, what is buried in darkness will rise in light if someone dares to dig. Listen closely, watch carefully, and never trust a smile that doesn't reach the eyes. If this story chilled you, opened your eyes, or reminded you to question what glitters, please like, subscribe, and share. Stories like this only matter if they are heard. Tap the bell so you never miss a tale that speaks truth in the dark. Sleep well, but stay awake to the world.